All right, welcome back. This is Black Lodge Trivia Night. I'm Art, and I was planning on, as you can see from the setup, doing some Darklands, but then I recently discovered a little TikTok challenge called the Grace Kelly Challenge, and I talked Matt and Patrick into it. I drew the short straw and taking the high part, so I've got this for when the time comes to drive into my groin, so I can make sure I get there. So there you go. Black Lodge Trivia Night is now devolved into prop comedy. Not even good prop comedy. Not that there is much, but that hammer is actually here because we've been painting all weekend. Oh, just I don't know if you can see. And that rubber mallet was to close the paint cans, and I left it on my desk. So, anyway, you'll have to stay tuned to see me, Matt, and Patrick do the Grace Kelly challenge at some point. We'll figure out who actually does the high notes. No, in actuality, yeah, it's here. We're playing Darklands, and let me just see really quickly. It's been a little while, not gonna lie. It's been a little while since this has gone up. I can tell you, like, let me, the story continues here. Let me do this. And so, yeah, I was looking at the dates, and it looked like the last save slot was September 14th. Today is October 1st, and I fired this up a short while ago to try and save some tedium. If you remember, we were outside. I don't even remember what city we were outside of at this point. Not that it matters, but we were in a mine. I had gotten hurt, had to leave, come back, and when you do that, I think it rebuilds the level, and I couldn't I couldn't find out where to go. So I'd been wandering around this level for a while, and eventually I realized there were a few walls that were, I thought, solid walls, but were actually passages into new rooms. This is one of them, dead end. And there was one somewhere up here, right here. I missed that one. And it led to another door. Now we're in the mine. What we're trying to do is, I think, again, going back to our trusty clue book, I think we have the megalomaniac dwarf, which means we need to go down the treasure path 3 levels, grab the treasure, I think, from the kobolds, go over to the dwarf side where somehow they link up. So I don't think we have to go all the way up and down 3 levels. Give the treasure to the dwarf king, and then we solve the mine. I'm in pretty good shape. Seacard has taken a little damage. Anyway, so I walked around a little bit earlier this evening to try and see if I could figure out why I was getting lost. And stumbled across a few doors. Let me just see. I think this door is what we want to do, but let me just see if this gap here in the wall leads to more rooms, because this is the kind of stuff I was missing earlier. So anyway, hopefully we are now on the right track. I don't even know if doing the mine for as long as I've been doing is actually worth it, but yeah, so back in Darklands, what's, like I said, it's been going on for a while. We've been, edged weapons changed. I wonder why. Oh, because we got to the door, right. A heavy iron door, red with rust, confronts you. This must be the entrance to the kobold realm. You approach and see a kobold through the grate. He squeaks at you. Our place, our place. Go away. You decide to. I think this is the way I want to go, though. Bursting through the rusty red door, you see a mob of seething kobolds. Okay, we see that we were foolish folk to ever trust the human world. I think we did this already. So I think this is where we were trying to get to. Now, I don't know if it remembered. Oh, no, it's the same. Okay. Because I need to get over to this ladder. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Okay. Single file. Let's save. Again, it's been a little while since we last played. And it is 23:11. It's late. This is part of the reason why I haven't played in a little while. It can be very tricky to be able to record. Especially, this one, I'm doing on camera, so that's what makes it tough. I try and do it, when, I'm not disrupting everybody else in their lives. But yeah, everybody just crashed for the night. It's been a few weeks. We were playing. I think it'll come out next Friday, so it'll be roughly a week after I record this. I don't know when this will go up, but this is definitely the Cobalt section. It's been sort of a bear of a few weeks. Like I said, we were painting, so we're trying to save a little bit of money by we had to do a whole bunch of house repairs a little while ago. All right, let's see. There is nothing here. We might have already looted this. This might be part of the issue. Yeah, I was seeing pictures of a couple days ago. Parts of New York City, Brooklyn in particular, were underwater, and brought back some flashbacks. Hurricane. I guess it was a hurricane. I don't even remember what the status was. Hurricane Ida hit here a few years ago. We had about 3 feet of water in our basement. And so seeing those pictures of New York City the other day brought back, it's not just my memories. I mean, the people in New York City were dealing with the exact same thing, I think, during that storm. Anyway, but in response to Ida, or partially in response to Ida, we had to do a bunch of house repairs. And that's very expensive. So we're trying to save a little bit of money by finishing off the painting. But it just ends up being sort of like this marathon, okay, the moment we can start prepping the room on Friday, start doing that so that 8 a.m. Saturday, we can get straight to the painting. And, we ended up doing like 3 coats on the walls and 2 coats on the trim. And you can do it in a weekend. It's just, it makes for like a very long weekend. So, and this is the second room we've done. So we did a room a couple weeks ago, took a weekend off, did a room this weekend. We have to take next weekend off to do some travel stuff for my son. Come back the following weekend, do the next room. There's going to be 4 rooms in total. One of them will be this office, but I'm not sure when that'll happen. We want to get some electrical work done in here before we take everything out and paint the room. So this is the cobalt layer. So I believe the reason why I'm not running into anything is because I think at some point before I got lost endlessly, we had cleared a lot of this area. So again, looking for the clue book, I think we're trying to get down a couple of levels here. And I think on level 2, I might be misremembering, level 2 might have a connection to like level 2 of the Dwarf Kingdom. So I think that's how you don't have to worry about. My fear is that in this room or something, there was like a pit trap or something. Yes. Oof. Slab of stone pivots under your feet. Okay. Now, the first time we were able to do this by doing a pyramid. But I failed this time. See, I don't think St. Peter's going to help us. So let's have our best climber go up. Okay, so he didn't make it. Oh, okay. I managed to climb out this time. Looks like I'm doing okay health-wise overall, so that's good. You know what? Let me save now that I've explored a little and blown. Whoops, I keep forgetting. It is still the first. Okay, 23, 26. Yeah, I just don't want to make sure I don't have to deal with that pit trap again. Okay, so let's see. Okay, that's probably where we're looking to go. Let's just do a quick I'm not, well, you know what? I don't actually care about fighting, so it's not like I want to. I don't know if there's anything to be gained by exploring the level. That's the dilemma I'm having at the moment. Like, I don't want to, because that's how this all started. Was I got myself beat up, had to leave, come back, and get lost. So, as if you've listened to any of this stuff for Black Lodge Trivia Night, I'm the old man of the group. I am not on TikTok. I actually was not aware of the Grace Kelly challenge until something popped up. Like, for some reason, the YouTube algorithm decided, I guess, all of my creepy Ryan Reynolds searches. I don't know why it popped up, but his version popped up with Will Ferrell. And I was like, listening to it, and I was like, I feel like I recognize this song. And it had been a minute since I heard it. I enjoy the original. It's like, so, I work in advertising, or I did. Well, I still do in a way, but I feel like it's a song I heard somehow in advertising. Advertising for certain types of things that you're trying to do when you're pitching a potential client. You'll make videos to show, like, this is a proof of concept of what the work could look like, the general vibe. And for some reason, I thought somebody used Grace Kelly in one of the videos, or somebody tried to use it. I don't even remember at this point, because I'm sitting there going like, and I don't know why else I would have heard it, but they like to go for, really upbeat songs that are off the beaten path. And I feel like Grace Kelly fits that. So then I looked that up, and I was like, oh yeah. That was a fun song. Had a little bit of like, I don't know if this is a fair comparison. I felt like the lead vocalist had a little bit of like Freddie Mercury going on. I mean that as a compliment. And I guess part of this challenge is you're basically harmonizing like a 6-part harmony of the chorus. All right. But one of the parts just goes into the stratosphere. Before you are teeming kobolds, a man towers over them. It must be the leader that the dwarfs spoke of. If you can defeat him, the kobolds' rebellion will be crushed. The grateful dwarves will no doubt return to the mine to its human owners, and you will win. Knowing this, you choose to... Let's parlay, just see what it says. The human steps forward and says, we can accept only one condition. You must help us defeat the dwarves and the dreadful Voland, their overlord. In any case, you must leave here at once. Let's attack. So, let's look around. I thought there was like a treasure room. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Missile. 2. Missile. Nope. Missile. 3. Missile. Like I said, it's been a hot minute since I played, so I might be a little rusty on some of the commands. Let's see what happens. I think I saved it upstairs, so... Now this guy's trying to do his crossbow. Okay, I think that has run its course. So now I'm just setting up attack commands on one guy. Let's see how it goes. For a second, I was panicking because I was like, oh crap, red is me, but it's not. Red is them. But Henri just taking a absolute beating. Henri's number 2. Let's have him parry. Well, it's not. It's his stamina. So if his stamina goes down, at least he'll bounce back. So is there? So I thought on one level was supposed to be a fountain that would make like endless kobolds, but I'm not. And what you're supposed to do is you're just supposed to leave. Okay, Henri's out of the fight, but that's fine. Let's get everybody attacking the main guy. Let's see if we can survive this. So there's a lot of things I didn't see that I was expecting from the clue book. Ooh, 17, that's good. So I'm trying to see, there's just more coming. Because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to leave and go down a ladder. And a couple follow you, but I'm not seeing a ladder. Let's pause for a second, just look around. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, there does seem to be a lot of these guys. I don't know if I'm getting ahead of them or not. Sigrun's also down. That's not great. Okay, so yeah, they're spawning here. So somewhere around here is supposed to be... I thought there was supposed to be a ladder. Let me take a look in the clue book. It says the next level, the dreaded gnome fountain. This is a fountain guarded by 2 gnomes. Okay, that was definitely not the case here. Yeah, defeat, no doubt. Hmm. Interesting. Okay, yeah, there's no mention of like a huge person guarding. Let's see. We're not looking. I could probably delete some of these. Let me delete. Yeah. Probably delete. Yeah, delete. Yeah, delete. Yeah, delete. Yeah. What was the last time I was 23, 26? That looks like the latest. Okay. So what else has been going on? We man, since this last one up, I recorded on the 14th. We've done a couple of sessions of Otari. That's been a lot of fun. We sort of left it on a cliffhanger, so we were sort of talking behind the scenes, and Patrick's like, hey, since we sort of left in the middle of combat, you want to like, swap an Otari and a Menace and a Scritch Scratch just to keep going. And so we did a second session back to back of Otari. That was a lot of fun. It was interesting. I was talking to the guys afterwards, and one of the things that came up, if you haven't listened to it, was the idea that playing through Menace Under Otari, I've been enjoying sort of the dungeon crawl, which has surprised me a little bit because earlier experiences I had with a more classic dungeon crawl system, OSE, it just didn't click. And I think I incorrectly associated part of that not clicking with dungeon crawling itself. And I think it just might have confirmed that it's specifically that OSC is not my thing overall. Well, you know what? Let me put it in two ways. The other thing, I was running for my kids and my nephews some of the Keep of the Borderlands kind of stuff. I know I already cleared this. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something in this area that I missed that I should have been doing instead of going to that next room. And I don't think there was. And what that is, it's just it's classic old school D&D. I'm running I think it's Goodman Games. They put out the 5th edition sort of conversions. And going through it, you just realize it's just like and this might not in a bad way. It was just like an endless like clear the map. And the maps are gigantic, and it's just a matter of like going room to room and like read the description, attack the slug or the it's not. So it gets to the point where like it's hard to keep track of what's going on because I don't think I missed anything in this map. It gets hard to keep track of what's going on just because it's just such a huge map. So like part of that, maybe possible spoilers for Keep on the Borderlands from 1407, but like there's a room where the guy, one of the guys who owns the fortress has a bedroom, and under the bedroom is some artifact and blah blah blah. But by the time all of that paid off, the whole party was like, "What are we doing?" So what I'm gonna do is, I know like doing the exact same thing and expecting different results, but I want to see if there's a way to get out of here. And so no, I might not be able to walk in a single file line. This might be stupid, or it might be the key to the whole thing. What I'm basically trying to do is I'm just trying to see is like, is there a way out of here? Am I missing something? Ooh, Henri and Sigrun are already down. Interesting. Well, I guess it makes sense. I think Seacard might be one of my better fighters, and I'm sort of having him strut around. Hopefully I'm not missing any notices that I'm like near a ladder or something. I'm sort of expecting this kind of fight. I just was expecting a way out of the room. Or is there like a... Yeah, so this might... take a few of these bastards with me, but okay, so I'm not really sure what I'm looking for here. Right, because it says, here the next level contains the dreaded gnome fountain. This is a fountain guarded by 2 gnomes. However, when a gnome is destroyed, the fountain creates another gnome. So your only hope is to fight past the fountain and flee to the ladder downward. Expect 1 or 2 gnomes to tumble down the ladder in pursuit, causing an instant battle at the bottom. On this bottom level is a chest. So that's the thing. I'm not seeing... Yeah, so I'm not really sure what to do. Like, I mean, part of you just give up, right? Like, who cares? Killing the guy didn't seem to... Oh, wait. The Dwarf Kobold War. So maybe we had the wrong one. Let's see. We did encounter bears in the first level. That might have been the issue, is I was reading the wrong one. And past the puzzle door, you encounter a single aggressive-looking dwarf with options brusquely okay. Here you discover that the mine has inadvertently linked the separate homes of dwarves and this sounds more... Each hates the other, blah, blah, blah. If you can defeat either side, the other will have won the war. So, and be grateful to you. Restoring peace and earning the victor's gratitude will open the mine once more. Beware that entering either side's home is a hostile. Okay. And a puzzle door. Okay, if you pass this puzzle door, you descend to the final fight with the kobolds and their leader, a powerful alchemist who not only throws battle potions, but also has used potions to increase the fighting power of the blah, blah, blah. So if you defeat these, the war is over. Okay. So it might not be any trick to it. Maybe it's just... So it sounds like I'm not doing the whatever. Dwarf. I'm doing the Dwarf Kobold War. It sounds like I'm at the end of the Kobold stage, and it's just a matter of surviving. But they seem to spawn indefinitely. So, dealing with the guy wasn't too bad. It's just that the gnomes kept coming. Oof. Okay. So this is it. This is the end of... wait, or did I... Or did I do the wrong one? I think I did the wrong one. Hold on one second. Yeah. Let me Alt-L. Yes. 2332. I think I did 2311. Okay. Woof. So I'm still experiencing the problem. Like, I don't have health potions. I probably should be praying to a saint instead of like whipping out bows and arrows entirely. Wait, am I the same? I feel like I missed a save or something here, so I apologize. I'm sorry, I thought I had a save that was right outside the other. Because I completely don't remember where to go. Anyway, so what was I saying? You know, we did back-to-back Otari. Those are both out. Then we jumped back to Scritch Scratch, which should be coming out hopefully sometime the week of the first week in October, at the end of the first week. Usually we try and drop our stuff on Fridays. So we have the final Scritch Scratch, so you could see how that ends. I had a good time with that. And then, you know, Patrick is about to, you know, have his first kid. So obviously congratulations to his family. You know, hopefully everyone's feeling well, but we're getting to the point where it's going to drop down to just me and Matt for a while. And so we're sort of trying to work our way through of like, okay, what are some things we can do? It's kind of like, you know, Halloween, the time of year, you know, spooky season, as some people call it. So we're trying to figure that out. So we'll see. Oh, right. This stupid. Didn't I save it after this pit trap? Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry. Okay, I lost somebody. I'm sorry. I remember I specifically saved after that trap. Where is it? 2326. Yeah, I don't understand why 2132. Oh, because it's 21. Because I'm reading it wrong. That's why. 2311, and then I think this is it, and I just botched typing in the time. I think that's part of the problem. Yes, that's part of the problem. Okay. So yeah, apologies. I did a typo in the timestamp, and that's what was throwing me. All right. Nope. So I think we just have to survive. So let's see if we can have him. Let's see if there's a way to pray to a saint in combat. Here we go again. I've got my card. Yeah, it doesn't seem like you can necessarily. The attack is throw potion attack. You know, try for a vulnerable attack, berserk attack, parry, use missile. Let me see if there's something here in the menu. I guess part of the problem. Let me see if I switch to Henri. What his? No, okay. I mean, it makes sense in a way, right? Like, the time to pray to a saint is not the instant combat has started. Let's see if we can get a shot off here. 3 at him, 1 at him, none hit. I think the bows will get another round off, another arrow off. Okay, now it's time. Let's do this. Again, just doing everybody going after the same guy. Don't know if it matters. What I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to get him to come around this way. Hoping that it puts the brunt of it on Sieghard and Eckhard. Again, red is the damage against the enemies. White is the hits I'm taking. So I'm not thrilled that Henri, my worst fighter, is going solo against the main guy. But he's doing some damage. Now, the trick is it didn't seem like beating the main guy did anything. That was the thing. The kobolds just kept coming and coming and coming. So the main guy's down. Henri came through. I have no health potions, which again, I feel like is something I need to rectify. I need to figure out. I don't know what he's doing. I need to figure out the alchemical recipes. Okay. Sigrun is down. Henri's down. So I feel like this is just the end because, again, these guys just keep coming. And I'm not sure what I need to do. You can see him spawning right there. I just don't know what to do to stop them. Because as long as they keep coming, there's nothing I can do. Now they come from this pit. Let me, you know what? Let me do a quick, this isn't going to be good television, but let me just do a quick Google search. And just see, because the clue book is not, telling me much for this specific thing. But let me just do Darklands, Mine, the Dwarf Kobold War. And let's just see if anybody else has something. Oh, game facts. Man, it's let me see if I can, I don't know if this is going to work. Let me see if I can add a yeah, let's just add a window capture and we'll make it Chrome. You can see all my crazy tabs. I think this is popping up, right? But just, I missed the old game facts, right? Just look at that. Just hot text. Okay, we don't need to see this anymore. The problem with it, though, is means you can't find anything too easily. Dwarf, nope. Dwarf, nope. Yeah, so the problem is that it's probably a great resource. I just I can't navigate it. Let me see. Okay. So this other thing doesn't seem to help much. I'm just trying to find just see. Like, it's hard because, like, this game is not, it's not, it's not a hot topic. So, yeah, anyway, so I'm trying to, so you know what? I might not be able to do it. I might not be able to beat. Yeah, because I'm not finding a good... I was hoping that like the Steam forums would have something. But that is not the case. I'm sure the GameFAQ would be the place to go, but... Okay, War Between the Worlds. So I'm back on GameFAQ. I think it's kind of just showing me what's in the clue book for the most part, so... So what they're saying is that fighting the kobolds is slightly easier to deal with. Doesn't really make a difference, it says, who you go after. Just say the dwarves are a stronger enemy, so it's tough to say because I feel like... Yeah. So that's the trick. I feel like if I can't beat the kobolds, I don't feel like I could defeat the other guys, but I just don't know. Oh, did I? Just curious. What did they take? What does it cost me to lose to these guys? Possibly everything. Nope, they let Sigrun keep her pants. But otherwise... Okay, so now the question is, let's get out of here. I do have to load because I can't be without anything. But it does raise the question, like, what do we do? Because I don't know how to defeat... If they're just going to endlessly spawn, I don't know how to beat them. I'm not seeing anything obvious that I need to do to kill them. Or maybe it's just one of those things where, like, they don't endlessly spawn. It's just I'm not surviving long enough. I don't think I'm like... I'm not like super advanced, but I don't think I'm like a terribly low level party. I really thought I was in the megalomaniacal... I really thought I was in the other story because because I didn't... It's one of those things where it's like, like I didn't flip the paper over to see that there was a second page of questions kind of thing. I saw like the first time somebody said, "Hey, you see bears?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's where we are." So... Oh, right. I already did this. So I'm not sure tactically what else could I do differently. I think what I should be doing is, and this might not be something I do on camera, but I think what the trick might be is I might have to say like, okay, go pick something. Okay, what are you going to do? You're going to sort of build up your health potions. You're going to build up saints. What are you going to do? And give it a shot, and then come back equipped with some, because right now I'm just trying to do like vanilla, like just go in there and smash them with swords. And I'm not really taking advantage of a lot of the systems that the game gives you, which is namely magic. It takes two different forms, but I guess that's one system. It's the magic system. What I could try and do is I could try praying to a saint before I go down. I don't even know how you do that. I think what I should also do is I should save before I open this door. Okay, so it's 10:02. 23, and it is 00:02, just past midnight. So that's the trick. This is the time of day I have to play if everybody's out and about and busy and doing stuff. Let me leave. And let me try praying to a saint. Can you pray to a saint at all when you're in Battlefield? I'm not 100% sure. Let's go to Henri. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I don't know what the trick is. So, ooh. They spawn from this pit. There's the human way down here. Can I do anything to this? Can I attack this pit? Oh, what are you doing, Sigrun? I respect your moxie, but I need everybody to stay together. Okay. Okay, so Henri's stamina's cut in half. I'm trying to get him help from Eckhart, but I don't know if that's working out. I mean, no, he's walking all the way over there. I don't know why. Sigrun's not getting any help. Let's have Sighard break off if he can. Okay, she's down. Oh, well. Oh, they're both down. Okay, so this is what happened last time. And so my fear... So the other thing I could try is I could try going back up, seeing if I can take the dwarf side of it all. So maybe we try that. So in that case, maybe I do want to go back a little bit. No, yeah, I walked into that last time too. I wonder if there's even a way to avoid that. Okay, so this is... Yeah. What I want to do is I want to find the dwarf entrance. Yeah, no, I know. Anyway. Yeah, so a lot has been going on with Black Latch Trivia Night. It's been a lot of fun. It was fun to to finish something. We did a bunch of one shots, and then the first two sort of mini for real sessions are going to be Menace and Scritch Scratch, and now we've got one under our belt. And if this were the normal process, I would be taking over Patrick's GM slot. And I've talked about, Le Carre. I'm going to start doing weird stuff with my eyes because it's late. That's what we would be doing. So let me try this ladder. Nope, it's not going to let me. I think that's going to go down to the dwarf area. So let's try that. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe because they don't endlessly spawn, even if they're tougher, we can take them. I don't know. But because we might be losing Patrick for a little bit, we're going to hold off on me taking over to run something real. And I might be the guy who sort of takes the lead on if we do like Ironsworn, or one I had brought up was a little game called Eerie England, where I think I'm going to pull a lot of stuff out of my butt. I think the way it kind of works is that I think it can work solo, it can work in a group cooperatively, but I believe you're always playing just one character. So you're collaborating with the other players to control one PC, which I thought was kind of interesting. We'd also talked about like getting into some, I've mentioned before, my games are right there. So when I look over, there's like the new Star Trek Solo system, which I think also is meant to be able to be played cooperatively. I know that came up. Matt, at some point is going to run Old Gods of Appalachia. And he had an idea of doing, so let's save, of doing like Patrick and I each get our own one-shot introduction. So we could do my one-shot while Patrick is out for a bit. So we'll see. But I'm looking forward to all of it. I gotta be honest with you. It's fun sort of having... Oops. It's fun sort of having this setup. It's they're good guys and it's fun to play with them, but it's also fun knowing you have this setup ready to go, and you're going to get a lot done. Nope. So there's this other ladder. Maybe I got to go that way. Again, everything I was doing under the assumption that I was in a different mine. So I don't know if I... So what I'm checking here is I'm just trying to do a quick check to see if I missed any obvious doors. Because that's what it was tripping me up earlier, is I missed 2 obvious entrances to hallways. So I'm just trying to... And with like a quick glance, I don't think I missed anything. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to go up this ladder, hoping that it's sort of some hooks me up to the dwarven areas. But I've lost track of where I've been in this mine and where I haven't been. So I definitely have not been to most of this. So let's check this out. And if worse comes to worse, what I'll do is, I'll just back out of this mine and figure out what to actually tackle next. Tackling the Rowbirder was kind of fun, but it came at a cost, right? Like I think one of my guys died. So it's not like I'm really built to do much of anything yet, I guess. Which, again raises the question then, so what do you do? Because it's been a long time since I played this game. And I don't think I'm at the point where I just need to go grind thieves in the back alleys of a city. I feel like I'm a little bit past that. So when I got lost, basically there was like a hallway blank like this. But it was along a solid wall. And on either side of the gap were these sort of wall graphics. And so it's sort of, I guess in my, quick scrubbing around the level, I didn't see. Interesting. I can go up. I didn't see the gap. And so that's, yeah. It was my own doing. I was looking at it, what should I do tonight? And it's been a long time since I recorded anything. It's been, a lot going on here at home. Like I said, painting and all this crap, having to travel soon and getting slammed at work, yada, yada, yada. And I realized, okay, it's been a little while since I played Starfield. And that game is fun. Like I was trying to like do one of one of the other, one of one of the other. Just that kind of back and forth. But there's just like a million people out there playing Starfield, and he said without irony, I don't get why people record their gameplay and put it up on the internet when everybody else. But what I actually was going to say is, but there's not a ton of people playing Darklands, right? So I thought, you know what, why not? Let's do some Darklands. And I'll be honest with you, there's a part of me that's enjoying this a little bit more. And again, I don't promise a full playthrough of any of this. But I think I don't know how to, it's going to come off harsher than I intend. I think I don't like the idea of leaving this mine unfinished. But for the time being, I've sort of like, yeah, like this is, it's been good. Like I'm curious to see something new. I just don't know what that should be. And I don't think it's as simple as just wandering the countryside, right? I need to figure out something that I want to develop and figure out a path to develop it. But figuring that out might not be something I'm able to do on camera. Or what I should say is that I might need to do a little research. Like, okay, what should I be? And by research, I mean, like, dear internet, please tell me what to do. Love this idiot. Okay. See if I can actually get a tax in. What am I looking at? I forget that, yeah, enemy info. What are we looking at? Tatzelworm. Have we run into these guys yet? I lost track. I feel like I have spoken the name Tatzelworm before, so clearly we haven't been here yet. Because I think it keeps the enemies clear when you kill them. But I think this means we're also in the dwarven areas. Because I think that's one of the enemies. So let's see what's behind this door. So at least we're covering new ground, if nothing else. I mean, because what could happen is then eventually, we could just get more powerful, make our way back, and sort of beeline for one of the endings. Is that another tassel worm? You know what just came out that I thought might be interesting? I've never really spent time with it, but they just did a re-release, like a really sort of like a historical preservation kind of version of the original Wizardry. And I grabbed that, and I've never played any of the Wizardry games that I can remember. Maybe I tried. Oh man, one of them was like, was it 7, 8? One of them was like considered like a Stone Cold classic, and I might have poked at that a little bit. And then I also came across some guy who was doing like one of the old gold box games. I felt bad. I didn't feel bad. He played a ton of it, but I don't think he's gotten a lot of views. But those gold box games, I feel like in ways similar to this game, were sort of ahead of their time. They take the trappings of like a Bard's Tale for minute to minute, whatever. But, oops, sorry, I just banged the mic. But when you get into combat, it turns into like an actually really interesting turn-based rendition of like second edition D&D or AD&D or whatever it was. Not sure why it's not letting me. Oh, that's why. Can I open it now? Or can you not open it if it's interesting? Okay. I don't know if I have any potions or anything that would let me. Well, part of the problem is that my leader might not be the right guy to do it. What I'm looking for is, I think, Artifice. We're looking at Sigrun with a 26. Let's try 26. Oh, he's got a 50 stealth. How did that happen? So let's get everybody away for a minute. And we'll send Sigrun over one more time. I probably should have been saving, and I've just ruined this whole thing, but oh well. And now let's get to, I mean, it's probably too late now to save. Nope. What's the... Okay. Maybe I need to make her the leader? And try that. Well, she's... Okay, so she's going to have the best chance to do it. And so I might just have to pass on this. I think it's Artifice. I don't think I have True Sight. No. Eater Water, I think, would work if it was just a lock, but I don't think it's... Well, let me see if it'll let me... Yeah, so it's Dissolve Lock, but that's not the problem. Okay. All right, well, let's keep going now that I've... Well, no, Eckhard got actually hurt. Okay, you know what? I think I need to... Let's just save anyway. So what keeps throwing me is that I the numeric pad does not work, and I keep doing that for the time and screwing it up. The enter key might work, but a gleaming golden door confronts you. The workmanship is exquisite, and the framing so precise it seems to merge with the wall. Clearly, this is the entrance to the dwarven realm. On the face, engraved in the metal, you see an inscription rendered in 8 languages. Dwarf home, pass not but dwarves. Clearly, you'd be unwelcome within. You decide to go for it. All right, so they're upset. So let's see how badly this goes. Oof. Okay, so Sigrun just got lit up. Sieghard is down. Let's see if I can actually survive this. You know, Henri, you're not really helping. That might have been slightly part of the problem. Maybe not enough to turn the whole tide. Ooh, Eckhart's straight up dead. All right. So I think what we determined is that I'm not equipped to finish this mine. There's no shame in that, I guess. Maybe a little bit of shame. I don't know. I don't know what the proper amount of shame is, but let's assume that I accept it. So I think then what it becomes is then, you know, I need to move on. And figure out what I can do in the interim. I mean, this mine's not going anywhere. I've done some of the legwork. The real trick is what I expect. I mean, and you know, and I was about to say I'm going to forget about this mine, but I say that when, you know, there's probably mines all over the map. And I'm sure I'm going to encounter this story again somewhere. So not figuring out this exact mine is not the end of the world. It's more a question of, given the freeform nature of the game, you know, I have to sort of set my own goals, right? And part of setting those, but I don't know what I'm looking for. I wonder what's behind this door. I'm sure at some point I did it and just, I don't know. The other thing is, you know, again, an older game, I can't annotate them. Annotate? Am I saying that right? Whatever. I can't mark up the map. Why am I having trouble? Annotate, I think is the word. And so I can't mark this, like, you know, and you know, I recently on my board game channel, I did a run of Elden Ring. And Elden Ring does a pretty good job of letting you mark up the map. It's not amazing because I think you only have a limited number of markings you can put down on the map. So you can't just mark everything as you wish. You have to be a little economical, I guess. Not a ton, but a little bit. You know what game I've been playing recently? Sort of an RPG survival game called Outward. I've been doing it in co-op with my brother. It's I gotta say, it's really interesting. It's definitely hardcore. What made me think of it is, you know, annotating the map. Now I'm curious. What happens when you get old? You annotating. Yeah. Your mind starts to just slip. But outward, one of the things you can do is like it doesn't give you any help on the map. You know, like the map is literally just as if you were looking at an old school map and you have to figure out where you are on the map. It doesn't tell you. It doesn't basically give you any help when you're trying to figure things out, but that's not true. What it does is it very cleverly is designed to always give you landmarks to gauge roughly where you are. So they at least in the starting map, they make it a point to clearly have either a mountain that's, you know, a major land feature, landmark in the area, or a lighthouse. You know, there's always something you can use to sort of get your bearing. And so in that sense, it's actually pretty clever, and it's been really enjoyable. I don't know, but it's also very much like this, where you sort of have to decide, like, okay, so what are we doing here? And you have to sort of pick what you're, you know. So I think my brother and I were sort of running into that last time where I don't want to say we're not stuck, but there was a point where like, so what are we doing? Because the game, much like this Darklands game, is not going to say you're doing X. There's quest logs. There's, you know, like in Starfield or a Bethesda game, they don't drive you towards the content, right? This just, you know, and outwards, you know, similar. And so what we were realizing is that we needed to, much like here, we needed to build up resources so that we could get out in the world and adventure more successfully. Again, you know, much like what's going on here. And once we sort of thought about it in those terms, we're like, okay, so what does that mean? You know, it means that survivability is a problem. So it's cold. So we're going to need things to deal with that. We need things to restore health, because when we're getting out in the world and getting our butts kicked, again, much like this here in Darklands, you know, we can't heal. So, and it was kind of nice in a way, because it sort of becomes like your own, you know, you start developing like a set of goals. Like, okay. And in some ways, that's sort of my favorite kind of gameplay. And it's why, in a way, I like Elden Ring more than the other Souls games, because it's like, you know, what do I want to do? I want to go here, or I want to get a different level, or I can, you know, it's just a lot of sort of set your own path and go for it. Which I don't know if you get a lot in games, you know, and it's, I don't know if I wonder if we're ever going to talk about this. I feel like we hinted at it on one of the Damn Fine Coffees, but sandbox versus railroads, right? The idea of a railroad adventure is where you like, you know, hey, go to A, go to B, go to C. And then there's sandbox, which I think is becoming sort of having like its moment in the sun now, with like games like, you know, Forbidden Lands, and a lot of these games that give you like tons of like random encounter charts to build adventures on the fly. You don't have to do any prep. You just, and I feel like this is just the classic kind of sandbox. And I was about to say you don't see them as much anymore, but then you get a game like Elite Dangerous, which I know I've mentioned before, because in a weird way I found it to be a really fascinating role-playing game. Which is also a sandbox. Now the question is, though, what I've heard about Elite Dangerous is that it can be very grindy. Maybe like that's it. Maybe that's the whole game, is just grinding to grind to the next thing, to grind to the next thing. So I don't know if that in of itself is fascinating, but if you set a goal for yourself that is not achieve faction rating 1 billion with the triple testicled Uber ship, you know, maybe if you could find, it might be role playing in its most pure form, right? You know, like I'm going to be a space trucker. I'm not trying to achieve this or that. Like I'm not trying to climb ranks or get on the scoreboard, so to speak. I'm trying to be a trucker. I'm trying to run routes. I'm trying to, it could be anything. You could hunt pirates. In my head, it's space trucker because that's probably what I would gravitate toward. But having said all that, I started by saying I've heard it's a little grindy, and I'm curious because you know the opening hours of this were grindy. I'm curious if that's just something you got to do in these kind of sandbox games. It just assumes oh, right. When you're at an exit you don't use, you got to do something else. I wonder if I wonder if they just, if a bit of grind is sort of par for the course in a game like this. So I'm in combat. I think it's exit battle. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we did not clear the mine. And that's okay. Is this the Rowbridger's castle that we beat? Oh, you know what? Let me save. Let's see. 10:02:23. It is now 00:33. There we go. Before I do anything too stupid. I feel like this is the Rowbridger that we took down. I think I've already done this, but let's see what happens. I just saved, so who cares? Why can I not? So I think he needs to step out. Okay. And once he does that, can he take a shot? Yeah, that's not bad. That's more shots than I was expecting. Now I wonder if it just reloaded this guy or if enough time has passed and some other Rowbridger takes over. Okay, Henri's down, but it's only stamina, so if I can survive, he'll pop back up. And I don't even care what happens here. I'm perfectly happy to reload. I was just curious. Ooh, somebody just hit me for 22. Woof. I bet that's the leader. I came pretty close, to be honest with you. I wasn't even paying attention, and I was able to get him down to a couple of guys. I wonder if you'd laid siege and killed some people, if it would have knocked down that party a little bit. Let's see what happens if you get defeated by a Rowbridger. Okay, they robbed me. That makes sense. Oh, that's actually one of the interesting... sit here, like, what happens when you get defeated? Outward, one of the interesting things about Outward is that you don't die in the game. What you do is if you get defeated, you get some kind of, like, story that comes from it. And that's really fascinating. You can... I got a jump by ambush, a jump by bandit, so I was going to try and talk my way out. Didn't work, but that's okay. Oh, there's more behind me. How many? So you can see I'm actually like seeing little fish. Okay, so Henri just took 5, but I'm doing pretty well. Henri's not doing great. 1-on-1, he's losing it. So let's pause. Let's get Henri parrying. See if that boosts his defense so the others can flank him. So, you know, much like I was saying with like Outward and Elite Dangerous, you know, trying to, you know, figure out what are we actually going to do. I think what I need to do at some point is I need to regroup and figure out what I'm doing. Was this the... I definitely took down a Raubritter. It's snowing again, but this time you're worried. The gray sky is fading to white while the wind rises and rises until the snowflakes are blowing in waves, horizontally like the ocean. You're caught in a blizzard. You decide to... Okay, we can keep going, pray to a saint, but we don't have the right saints, or we can find a protected spot. Let's try finding a protected spot. You camp as best you can in the awful conditions. Fortunately, you have enough energy to construct a useful shelter in the snow. Here, you wait out the blizzard for, 5 days. Food runs low, and it's hard to protect against frostbite. Finally, the blizzard abates. Although everyone has suffered a little from the experience, nobody is seriously weakened. You now consider how to resume your travels. I don't actually remember ever encountering that before. Now, it's been decades since I played this game, but again, you know, I said it a million times. When you can do everything in text, you can make so many little things happen. We're going to go main gate in broad daylight. We're going to pay the toll and enter. That's fine. I'm going to head to the side streets or something. I just want to sell a bunch of the stuff that I got. So let's try that. Now let's go to Craftsman Specialty in Arms and Armor because we're going to sell. Go to the Swordsmith because who cares? Let's see. I don't think I can sell this. Can I? Yeah, it's not worth anything. We got 115 of them, though, and I was wondering if I could just ditch them, but... It's a secret. I'm going to sell this battle axe. Long sword. I'm going to keep his crossbow, because again, I'm not 100% sure what I am... Sell these clubs. Well, I'm at 729 again because I think for a little while there I was getting into the routine of I was getting ahead of the financial curve a little bit. Let's go to the main. Let's go to. I want to go to the inn, so we'll go there. And it's basically what I've always done. I'm going to go to set up residence because I want to heal. So let's see if I can. 3 regain 4. He's fully healed, so let's have him earn a little money. So now we're let's have 1 earn, and then let's have 3 earn because they're fully healed. And again, we're just getting Henri up while everybody else makes money. So we should be getting a little bit of profit. Yeah, not a ton, but every day it goes up a little bit. Got a couple more days until... Okay, so now everybody's healed. So why don't we do this? It's been a little bit of a session. I don't know if there was much point to it, but hopefully it was interesting on some level. And I'll pause here. 1, because I need to sort of regroup and figure out what I'm doing. And 2, because it's almost 1 in the morning. But I'm hoping... I keep looking at my shelves because I thought there was one other thing I wanted to say about a game, and I forget what it is. Anyway, sandboxes, I believe, I think I was saying that RPGs are having a little bit of a moment. We've been playing a lot of Forbidden Lands in one group, and it's really fun. There's a part of me, though, I think that prefers some railroading. I can't remember if we talked about it with the guys. We should if we haven't, really, but... But otherwise, what I'll do is, I'm going to go upstairs. Going to go. I guess what have I been reading recently? I've been reading a little bit of Warhammer, fantasy role playing game, the 4th edition. That's interesting. I need to figure out. One of the things that came up when we were talking about, I think you'll hear it in the next, when we wrap up Scratch, the idea of like games that let you play normal people. And Warhammer Fantasy is one of those games that has a lot of jobs that are like normal for. And so I'm kind of curious to sort of get into that and see how do they handle it. Like, there's ways to advance in your careers. And, but one I've been reading, someday I'm going to run, I think, some Fantasy Age, the Age system. Started with Dragon Age, and then Green Ronin sort of turned it into a series. There's Modern Age, but I'm looking at Blue Rose. I'm going to go, I think, before I crash, I think I'm going to read a few pages of that. So, yeah. So again, thank you very much. I hope this was interesting. I hope to continue this. Maybe work won't be so crazy. Maybe, well, the painting's not done for another. There's 2 more rooms. One is the basement. I'm hoping that's easy in a weird way. Easier. And then the other is this office, which is going to be a giant pain in the ass because some idiot has 400 pounds of role-playing books right here that need to be moved in and out of the room. So I bet that guy regrets those decisions. But once that's going to be like the next. There's about we're trying to do it every other weekend. So if I can get an electrician in here, so we've got 2 more weekends of that. I'm hoping work calms down a little bit. It's been really nuts. Hopefully that'll let me, working late, stuff like that. So hopefully that frees up some time. But anyway, yeah. So thanks again. This is Black Lodge Trivia Night. Again, the actual plays of RPGs, our podcast, which tends to be Damn Fine Coffee or Bookcast Boys. All this stuff can be found, the audio versions, anywhere that you get your podcast. Just look for Black Lodge Trivia Night. Or there's the video component of it. It's right here on the YouTube channel, Black Lodge Trivia Night. We're on Twitter and Blue Sky at Black Lodge RPG. If that's, your thing, you get updates of when stuff comes out. And I mean, if you like this stuff, great. Like, subscribe, do whatever. I guess leaving a comment means something. Thumbs up, thumbs down doesn't seem to matter either. I don't pay attention to how these algorithms work. This is what I've heard from other people. There's one guy like Senpai Gaming or something. Senpai something. He's got a YouTube channel, and he was always like, "Yeah, just leave an emoji in the comment because, and then he explains why because it's almost like the algorithm doesn't care what the interaction is; it just cares that you interacted, and so just leaving a giant fart in the comments even counts. But I'm not saying do whatever you want. I don't care. I do appreciate though if you check this out. I hope it was fun, and I'll try and sort of get some focus as to what I want to do next before we proceed. So again, thanks very much, and take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.